As Ugawada returned from the market one sunny afternoon, her heart heavy with the weight of betrayal, she spotted Oliedo walking along the street. Desperation clawed at her heart as she rushed towards her former friend, her voice trembling with anger and hurt. "Oliedo, how could you?" Ugawada cried, her eyes brimming with tears. "Why did you betray me? Why did you take Odira away from me?" Oliedo's expression remained cold and indifferent as she looked at Ugawada, her eyes devoid of any remorse. "I did what I had to do to get what I wanted, Ugo," she replied, her voice dripping with disdain. "And if you know what's good for you, you'll stay away from me." Ugawada felt her heart shatter into a million pieces as she realized the depth of Oliedo's betrayal. She had trusted her best friend with her deepest secrets and fears, only to have her turn against her in the cruelest way possible. The pain was almost too much to bear, and Ugawada struggled to hold back her tears as she turned and walked away, feeling more alone and broken than ever before. Weeks passed, each one filled with a heavy sense of despair and loneliness, as Ugawada tried to come to terms with the devastating turn her life had taken. The betrayal of both Odira and Oliedo weighed heavily on her heart, leaving her feeling lost and adrift in a sea of pain. But amidst the darkness, a flicker of hope emerged as Ugawada began to experience strange symptoms that she couldn't ignore. Nausea and fatigue plagued her every waking moment, leaving her feeling weak and helpless. Concerned for his sister's well-being, Uwa took her to the hospital for a checkup, praying for answers to the mystery that had engulfed them. As the doctor confirmed Ugawada's suspicions, her world came crashing down around her once again. She was pregnant, a living, breathing reminder of the love she had shared with Odira, and the betrayal that had torn them apart. Ugawada's heart shattered into a million pieces as she struggled to come to terms with the reality of her situation. How could she face Odira and tell him about the child growing inside her? How could she bear the weight of his disappointment and anger, knowing that she had been betrayed by those she had trusted most? Tears streamed down Ugawada's cheeks as she clung to her brother, her heart heavy with sorrow and regret. She had never imagined that her life would take such a painful turn, and yet here she was, facing a future filled with uncertainty and fear. But amidst the darkness, a glimmer of hope emerged as Uwa wrapped his arms around her, offering words of comfort and support. "Don't worry, Ugo," he whispered softly, his voice filled with love and reassurance. "We'll get through this together. God has a plan for us, and everything will be okay." Ugawada nodded, her tears still flowing freely as she leaned into her brother's embrace. Despite the pain and heartache, she knew that she wasn't alone. With Uwa by her side, she would find the strength to face whatever challenges lay ahead. As Ugawada grappled with the weight of her pregnancy, her brother Uwa urged her to gather the courage to tell Odira about it. With a heavy heart and trembling hands, Ugawada made her way to Odira's house, hoping against hope that he would listen to her and believe her. When she arrived, she found Odira and Oliedo together, their faces filled with disdain as they looked at her. Ugawada mustered up all her courage and asked to speak with Odira alone for a few minutes. Reluctantly, Odira agreed, his expression cold and indifferent. "What do you want, Ugo?" Odira asked impatiently, his voice laced with irritation. Ugawada took a deep breath, her heart pounding in her chest as she prepared to reveal the truth. "Odira, I'm pregnant," she stammered, her voice barely above a whisper. "It's your child." But before she could say another word, Odira cut her off with a scoff, his eyes filled with disbelief. "Don't be ridiculous, Ugo. You're just trying to trap me with your lies. I want nothing to do with you or your imaginary pregnancy. Now leave." Tears welled up in Ugawada's eyes as she pleaded with Odira to believe her, to listen to her side of the story. But he refused to even entertain the possibility, dismissing her words with a wave of his hand. Feeling defeated and alone, Ugawada turned to leave, her heart heavy with sorrow and regret. But before she could make her escape, Oledo stepped forward, her voice dripping with venom. "You heard him, Ugo. You're not welcome here," Oledo spat, her eyes flashing with malice. "Go find the man who got you pregnant, because Odira and I are getting married." Ugawada's heart shattered into a million pieces as she stared at the ring on Oledo's finger, a painful reminder of the life she had lost. With tears streaming down her cheeks, she turned and fled from Odira's house, vowing to take care of her child on her own. As she made her way back home, Ugawada felt a sense of despair wash over her. How could the man she loved and trusted turn his back on her so easily? How could her best friend betray her in the cruelest way possible? But amidst the pain and heartache, Ugawada found solace in the comforting presence of her brother, Uwa. He wrapped his arms around her, offering words of comfort and reassurance. "Don't worry, Ugo," Uwa whispered softly, his voice filled with love and compassion. "I'll be here for you, no matter what. We'll get through this together." With Uwa by her side, Ugawada knew that she wasn't alone. Despite the challenges that lay ahead, she would find the strength to face them head-on and emerge stronger. As the months passed, Ugawada and Uwa worked tirelessly to make ends meet, their determination and resilience unwavering in the face of adversity. And finally, after 9 long months, Ugawada gave birth to 2 beautiful babies, a boy and a girl, each a precious gift that filled their home with joy and love. With Uwa by her side, Ugawada embraced the challenges of single parenthood, pouring all her love and devotion into raising her children. Despite the hardships they faced, their home was filled with laughter and warmth, a testament to the strength of their bond as siblings. Meanwhile, at Odira's house, years had passed since he had married Oledo, but their marriage was far from happy. Oledo's attitude towards Odira had soured over the years, her behavior becoming increasingly erratic and disrespectful. She would cheat on him with different men and squander his hard-earned money without a second thought. One fateful day, Odira returned home from work earlier than usual, only to walk in on a scene that shattered his world into a million pieces. There, on their matrimonial bed, lay Oledo entwined with another man, their betrayal laid bare for all to see. Shock and disbelief washed over Odira as he struggled to come to terms with the painful truth. How could the woman he had loved and trusted betray him in such a cruel and heartless manner? How could she disrespect their marriage and their vows with such callous disregard? Fueled by a mixture of anger and sorrow, Odira confronted Oledo, demanding answers to the questions that burned in his heart. And it was then that Oledo, with a smirk on her lips and malice in her eyes, revealed a secret that had been buried for over 5 years. "You think you're the victim here, Odira?" Oledo sneered, her voice dripping with venom. "Well, let me tell you the truth. You were responsible for Ugawada's pregnancy all those years ago. I practically set her up that night, and you fell right into my trap." Odira's world came crashing down around him as he struggled to comprehend the magnitude of Oledo's betrayal. He couldn't believe his ears as the truth sunk in, leaving him feeling hollow and broken inside. In a fit of rage and despair, Odira demanded that Oledo leave and never come back, his heart heavy with the weight of the lies and deceit that had tainted their marriage. As she slinked away into the darkness, Odira was left alone to grapple with the painful truth of his past actions and the devastating consequences they had wrought. Meanwhile, at Ugawada's home, surrounded by the love and laughter of her children, she felt a sense of peace wash over her. Despite the trials and tribulations she had faced, she knew that she was blessed to have her brother Uwa by her side, guiding her and supporting her every step of the way. As she looked into the eyes of her beautiful babies, Ugawada felt a renewed sense of hope and optimism for the future. Whatever challenges lay ahead, she knew that she would face them with courage and determination, secure in the knowledge that she was not alone. And as the sun set on another day, casting its golden rays across the sky, Ugawada embraced the new beginning that awaited her, ready to embark on the next chapter of her journey with strength, resilience, and love in her heart. Days turned into weeks, and Odira couldn't shake the overwhelming sense of regret and longing that consumed him. Despite the pain and heartache, he knew that he needed to make amends for the mistakes of his past and seek forgiveness from the woman he had wronged. With a heavy heart and determined spirit, Odira set out in search of Ugawada and their child, his steps heavy with the weight of his guilt. He found himself standing outside Uwa's shop, his hands trembling as he recounted the painful truth to Uwa, begging for his help in reuniting him with Ugawada. Uwa hesitated at first, his loyalty torn between his sister and the man who had caused her so much pain. But in the end, he couldn't turn his back on Odira's genuine remorse and desire for redemption. With a solemn nod, Uwa agreed to accompany Odira to Ugawada's home, praying for a miracle to heal the wounds of the past. When they arrived, Ugawada's initial reaction was one of fury and disbelief. She couldn't believe that Odira had the audacity to show his face after everything that had happened. But Uwa, ever the voice of reason, pleaded with her to hear Odira out, to give him a chance to make amends for his mistakes. Reluctantly, Ugawada agreed to let Odira speak, her heart heavy with skepticism and doubt. But as he poured out his heart, laying bare the depths of his regret and sorrow, she felt a glimmer of hope stir within her. Day after day, Uwa would patiently talk to his sister, urging her to reconsider her decision and open her heart to forgiveness. And slowly but surely, Ugawada began to soften, her anger giving way to a cautious sense of acceptance. Finally, after much persuasion, Ugawada agreed to let Odira in, allowing him the opportunity to plead his case once more. With tears in his eyes, Odira recounted the painful truth of his betrayal, expressing his deepest regrets and begging for Ugawada's forgiveness. Ugawada listened in silence, her heart torn between the pain of the past and the possibility of a future filled with love and reconciliation. And as Odira fell to his knees, his words filled with sincerity and remorse, she felt the walls around her heart begin to crumble. At last, with a heavy sigh, Ugawada forgave Odira, her heart filled with a sense of peace and closure. She brought their children to him, their innocent faces a reminder of the love they shared and the family they had created together. With tears of gratitude streaming down his cheeks, Odira hugged the twins tightly, vowing to be the father they deserved and the husband Ugawada had always dreamed of. And as they embraced, surrounded by the warmth of their love, they knew that they had been given a second chance at happiness. In the days that followed, Ugawada and Odira renewed their commitment to each other, their bond stronger than ever before. They got married in a simple yet heartfelt ceremony, surrounded by their loved ones and filled with hope for the future. As for Uwa, he found love and happiness of his own, starting a family of his own and cherishing each moment spent with his beloved wife and children. But the story of Oledo took a different turn. She was arrested alongside her boyfriend for drug trafficking, her life of deceit and betrayal finally catching up with her. And so, Ugawada and Odira, along with their beautiful children, lived happily ever after, their journey marked by love, forgiveness, and the unwavering bond of family. This story teaches us that trust is fragile, and once broken, it can be difficult to rebuild. Jealousy and betrayal can cause immense pain and damage relationships deeply. When Oledo betrayed Ugawada out of jealousy, it led to a chain of events that shattered lives. However, forgiveness and love have the power to heal even the deepest wounds. Despite the pain and heartache, Ugawada found it in her heart to forgive Odira and give their love another chance. Love, in the end, triumphs over jealousy and betrayal. It reminds us that nurturing love and trust in our relationships is essential for happiness and harmony. Thank you for watching this story on Afro Tales TV. If you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up, leave us a comment, and share with friends and family. We have more beautiful stories coming your way, so subscribe and stay tuned. See you in the next one.